Hi, how are you, my younger brothers? I'm your elder brother, Kiran Roy. So, I received this question: why are men refusing to marry the women they once admired? So, this is like a very valid question. So, I thought I'll address it in the form of a video rather than just replying to him personally in the form of a comment. So, this is actually a very this is like a very common occurrence at today's date. When men, you have seen that they always grew up dreaming of the woman of their dreams, like they had dreamt of marrying the woman of their dreams. They had certain parameters like good looks, good values, femininity, lots of things. Every man always had a dream lady, and they would like work very hard, expecting to marry the girl, expecting to marry the woman of their dreams. But nowadays, when they are about to fulfill that dream of theirs, now when they have whatever it takes, like suppose they have worked hard, they have earned a decent living, they are working in a proper position in a good corporate, they are drawing home a good six-figure digit. But when they are just about to fulfill that dream, they are now refusing to marry the woman of their dreams. So why is that happening? And this is like a common occurrence, as I said. In fact, that's why this question has been put put in front of me. This is definitely a common occurrence, and even I have like counseled many such people. They are like completely now they don't want to marry. When they are getting it, they now have it in front of them. Like they just have to say yes, and the women of their dreams are ready to marry them. But now they are not prepared. So why is that the case? I'll be addressing in today's video. But if you find any value in my video, do consider leaving a super thanks. You guys can join my Be Charismatic course as well. I'll be starting with a proper professional course from English channel as well, which I'll be announcing by tomorrow. And you can, if you want to give any direct benefit to me, you can drop a 5-star review for my guitar academy by typing Kiran Roy in Google. You will get my academy. Do type, do leave a review, which will help. My first point is evolution of admiration. So every man, they grew up admiring certain things in a woman. It was their beauty, it was their grace, it was their sensitivity, it was the way they would caress, they would nurture. All these attributes, basically, all these feminine attributes were the actual attributes which every man they dreamt they dreamt of getting that. But now, with the changing times, these very attributes has given space to entitlement, to arrogance, to dominance, to assertiveness, to disrespect. So men are seeing that all these very traits which made them fall in love with the woman at the first place, or rather which made them dream of getting a such kind of a woman at the first place. Now those very attributes has given way for rudeness, aggressiveness, disrespect, which is like very common, as you know. So these sense of entitlement, bad behavior, this has become a very big turnoff for all these men. So they now no longer desire that kind of a woman. And now since majority of the women are carrying these traits, majority of the women are becoming masculine or they have already become masculine. So with the advent of masculine women, it's no rocket science that the very feminine traits which I just mentioned, those have done a disappearing act. So now those traits which would actually pull that man has completely become extinct. Those points now no longer exist in a woman. So now when they are about to get that woman whom he had admired, he soon realizes that that lady no longer has those traits which he imagined that lady would be having, because it was that dream, as I said. Because every man, right from the time they hit their puberty, they start dreaming of getting that woman of their dreams. But now they do get that woman, but for that woman to be the woman of his dreams, She should be having those very attributes which that man had dreamt of, right? But since those very attributes are missing in that lady, so that lady completely ceases to be that woman of her dreams. So even though that lady is ready to marry that man, but that man is now very much fearful. He is now scared of committing to that lady. So this is the number one reason, according to me, why now you see these days man refusing to marry that very woman whom he had once admired. That's because of fear. So now coming down to my second point, it is a big time sense of fear looming large in all males. Now, you all of you are aware, as I said in my first point, they had one preconceived notion of how their dream woman would be, how their future dream woman would be. They had that set of rules, as in not rules, the set of attributes. But now, as I said, they don't. These ladies, they don't adhere to those their guidelines, as in those set attributes which he wanted. Now, since these ladies no longer possess them, but it's not just that they don't possess these, but what they possess now is something very much fearful. They now they now are like overtly aggressive. They start fighting at the drop of a hat. They start screaming for no reason. They have insanely huge mood swings. They are always ready for a clash. Just look at these ladies like Rebel Kid and all. They are all bloody 20 to 23-year olds, just kids. But look at the way they just fight. Look at the way they just abuse. Look at the way they are just ready to abuse anybody. So this is the general consensus which you see everywhere. This is what's happening everywhere. Ladies are just ready to fight at the drop of a hat. There is nothing called as femininity remaining at today's date. Femininity was something which I had seen, say around when I was say around between 27 to no, when I was between 21 to say like 28, 29. During that period of my life, I had seen the last remaining femininity which was still present, but now that has vanished. So now men, instead of seeing those attributes which they had once dreamt, all that they are seeing are the attributes which are actually scaring their ass off. They are actually getting scared because for a man to commit, they want peace to begin with, to get started. That's like a that's like a that they should get by default. That is not something which they should get by chance. Every human being, every man for that matter, they deserve peace to begin with. But now finding a woman who will give him peace is like a completely extinct form of a woman. There is no woman who can give somebody peace. And that is like common knowledge. Everybody knows that. Now, when a man knows, because see, now these days, that era of instant arranged marriage has gone. Now, men and women, both of them take their time. Both of them take their own sweet time in going for dates, knowing each other for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. After that, they decide to marry. But this much time is enough for that man to know that peace is the last thing which he will derive from that lady. Now itself. So just imagine what will happen after marriage. So when these man, during the dating period only, they see all these attributes that this lady who initially appeared as the epitome of that dream woman which he was dreaming about. But now she is a far cry. She possesses no such attributes. On the contrary, she possesses all those attributes which is completely detrimental for his peace, for his mental health. When that man sees that this lady can offer nothing but only conflict, only disrespect, only assertiveness, only entitlement, that is like the death knell for that man. They, more than anything else, they don't hate that lady. They get scared of that lady, is what I mean to say. I have counseled so many people. They have shared their heart out with me regarding this because they were in a dilemma when they booked a 1:1 with me. Majority of them were in a dilemma. They said that this lady has everything. She's good looking, she's educated, she's a CEO, she's like well qualified, like both professionally, financially, in all aspects. But somehow I'm getting scared. I'm not ready to marry her. So what should I do? So to seek my guidance, they had taken counseling with me. So, one point which I have seen common figuring out in each of my cases was fear. Almost all of them use this word fear, that I'm scared, because now itself, before marriage only, I'm scared. So, what will happen when I get married? So, that is the number one point. So, since I have seen a huge pattern of one common word, which is fear, I've decided to include it in my points. So, this is my biggest point, fear. Men are now fearful of their life post marriage, because of which they are now no longer willing to marry the woman of their dreams. My next point is rise of unrealistic standards. Women now these days, they have a set list, you can say. Millionaire income, six pack abs, as in good body, good physique, luxurious life, foreign vacations, flats, assets. These are all like basic necessities these days. Whereas for a man, it takes it takes him lots of years to just find a decent footing in his life. And all these things which they are expecting, millionaire income, foreign vacation twice or thrice a year. I personally counseled people whose wives now these days they need like three foreign vacations per year. Earlier, our moms, my mother, she always, I mean, my father has made her travel like 50% of the world. I have done 80%, but my father and my mom, they have traveled 50% of the world. But my mom never asked for a single foreign vacation. My mom was happy being with her kids, with us. But we would always say, both of you go, you both of you travel. In fact, on many occasions, even I have booked their holidays in foreign locations. So what I mean to say is my mom or ladies of that era, they would never demand from their husband, but still their husbands would give them, or their children like me, they would give them. But today, these days, these ladies, they don't wait. They don't like give them any understanding or support that you do. If possible, you can take me out for a vacation. They won't utter these words. They would directly put it in their list that you have to take me out 3 times abroad for a vacation. So these unrealistic expectations have taken a serious toll in my 1:1. Whoever I had counseled, one thing was common in all of their cases were that all of their fiancés had very high expectations. One of my one of my case, his fiancée had told him that you have to pay me. His salary was roughly 1.2 lakhs, roughly. So his fiancée had told him that you have, out of that 1.2 lakh, 75,000 you have to put it in my account for my needs, like per month. And I need 2 foreign vacations per month, and a brand new flat you have to buy, which he had already taken, so that he has to do. But point to be noted, out of 1.2 lakhs, he has to pay that EMI also on her, saying he had already taken that loan for a flat. On top of that, she was asking him to put 75,000 in a joint account only in both of their names, but that is going to be only for that girl's expenses. So my guy was like, my home loan is only like roughly 50,000 rupees. My income is 1.2 lakhs. If 50,000 is going in that EMI only, that home loan also I took for her only on her insistence, because she did not want to live with my parents. I have a very big house, but she did not want to live with my parents. Hence, she forced me to take that home loan, which I have taken. But now, out of 1.2 lakhs, 50,000 will go in my loan only. That too, it is going to be the case for many years now. So, remaining like how much? 70,000 is remaining. Out of that, she is asking me to put that 70,000 in her account. So, when I told her, if I put that 70,000 to you, then we'll be left with nothing. What should I do? She blatantly told him, you can drive a cab in the evenings or you can do a second job. I don't care. But this is what you have to do. So he came to me and he was asking me, what should I do? I was like, you shouldn't have even come to me at the first place. The answer was, show her the door. Just give her a kick, just give a kick on her butt, throw her out of your life. And as for that flat, he asked me, what should I do with that flat? I told him, it's a good thing you've taken that flat. Now, get your parents to leave that old house and you ask them to live with you and give them the best life in this new house. Kick that lady out of your house. because she was adamant. She was like, you have to give me that remaining 70,000, and the rest of the money, whatever you need for your expenses, you can do a second job. So when he said what second job, there is like a huge, like he's an IT guy. He's saying that even in the IT field, like we don't have job opportunities. What extra should I do? So she was like, go and drive a Ola Uber. I don't care. But whatever expenses you have, you can do it by your second job. But this 70,000, you have to put it in our name in a joint account, which only I can access. That's for my personal expenses. So I directly told him, just kick her out of your life, get your parents to live in that new house, and put that old house on rent. So that way you won't have any issues. So this is how things are as of today. And I know the ground reality because every day I receive 800 to 900 DMs with guys who are sharing their concerns with me. And one is to one I'm doing. So this is the case. So like you very well by now in these 3 points itself, you should have got a good picture about why men are fearful now to go ahead, why they're refusing to marry the woman of their dream. So basically relationships have become a power struggle now because it's a case of polarities. A masculine man will always seek somebody who is feminine, as I told you. But now, these days, the society has conditioned women to be dominant. They are now entitled. So, which completely ruins this entire dynamics, basically. So, this is the reason why men are now completely off bounds now. They are now completely fearful of, even if that lady is ready now to get married, but the man says, no, I'm not prepared. I don't want to marry. My next point is marriage now feels like a financial trap, not a partnership. Now, this point everybody is aware of. Everybody, even a youngster, even a middle aged person, each and everyone are aware of what's happening at today's date. Women have now completely started like slaughtering men in the name of alimony, in the name of divorce, in the name of maintenance. They are now completely killing them, destroying them. And the family court is nothing but a slaughterhouse of men. As I already told you, family court is nothing but a slaughterhouse. Men are aware of this, so knowingly, why would they walk into the guillotine? That's the main point. Each and every man worth their salt, they are aware of what's happening. They can see, like everybody knows at least one or two cases who are going through a bad divorce, who has to pay a hefty amount just as a maintenance. So all men are completely aware of it. So knowingly, why would they walk into the cemetery basically? So my next point is lack of appreciation. So basically, whence admiration once flowed effortlessly, now it only reeks of entitlement and disrespect. Everywhere you see, it's only one dynamic which you can see. Men are being disrespected, they are being criticized, and women only reek of entitlement. Whatever happens, women think that I'm entitled to this. They feel that I deserve this money, I deserve this house, I deserve whatever benefits I get. They think that it's my right. They don't, they always smell of entitlement, basically. They will never see how much of effort that man is putting. They will never see that this man in question is working the whole day and night just to provide, just to be the provider. These ladies think that's his job, that's his duty. So what big thing what's the big deal? He's doing which every other man does. He's working the whole day. That's because that's his duty. That's not because he's doing something out of the way for me. This is what he's supposed to do, right? That is what every lady thinks. So due to that, they always reek very badly of entitlement. They think I'm entitled to this. And this is like the death knell what's pushing away men from marriage. My next point is now is the time of hypergamy on steroids. Now hypergamy is on an all-time high. Even after marriage, women are constantly on the lookout for a man who is higher in stature, who's higher in personality, who's higher in every aspect. So men now they're constantly living in insecurity. They very well know that how much ever I try to do, how much ever I try to provide, this is never going to be sufficient for my wife. So they are constantly living in a burden. They're constantly living in a zone of insecurity. They very well know that though they are married, but their woman is constantly on the lookout for somebody who's better than him and that he can always be replaced. that she can always like just kick him on the butt and get the hell out. So this fear is now looming large in the hearts of men, which is why they are now saying no to the woman of their dreams, which at one point that was what they were living for. But now they are saying, no, dude, I don't need her. And the next point is fear of adultery. Now, like as I said, now like hypergamy is on an all-time high. Even adultery is on a all-time high, and every men are aware of this because look out anywhere, like anywhere, women are indulging in adultery. They are having extramarital affairs, be it in their place of work. Even housewives are no less, and be it not just the big cities, even small cities, towns, villages, women are indulging in extramarital affairs. And this is not news anymore. People are completely aware of the social structure. So, due to this, men are fearful to commit to any woman. So, this is another reason which I can safely say, which is getting men to get out of marriage, of saying no to the woman of their dream. Another big reason which I have seen is loss of femininity. Now, women now go out, they are slaying it in the corporate circuit, in any circuit. Why corporate? Whatever field, it can be aviation, it can be medical, it can be education, it can be corporate, it can be arts. Women are now slaying it. They are now climbing up the steps of success. But in the bargain, they are losing out on their caring, on their nurturing, on their they are losing touch from their feminine side. And that is a cause of grave concern because that is exactly what men wanted at the first place. Every man, including me, we just want femininity, we want care, we want sensitivity, we want affection, we want empathy. But all these aspects are completely missing from the women of today. And you all are aware of it. This is not something which I have to tell you. Even you are aware of it. You can see anywhere. Anywhere you can see. Just look at the tone of women. Even like not just educated, even like uneducated women from like the countryside, you can just check out their tone of talking. They will talk in an entitled tone, as if they own you, as if they own everything. They think they are like God's gift to planet Earth. That is how they behave. So after this, which man in their right senses would like to go ahead with the woman of his dreams? It's no rocket science. This is the reason why they are. My next point is social media and validation. Now, every woman, be it of whichever level, whichever educational qualification, every woman have at least 20 to 25 men waiting in queue in their social media DMs. So they are getting so much validation from everywhere, and they're feeling good about it at the same time. When they're getting so much validation from so many people, why would they take validation from just one man? And that one man is aware of it. That one man, he can easily see that I am not sufficient to satisfy her need for attention and need for validation. She prefers to get it from her friends, from her social media followers, from everywhere else. In fact, lots of men have told me during my 1:1 that she seeks validation from everywhere and she enjoys that completely over whatever I give her. So how much ever I do for her, it's always insufficient. And that's completely natural, as in that is how it is. I explain my clients that this is how they are. If they are getting, I just gave them that example that if suppose if all the restaurants of your city gives you free food for the entire year, then would you still have food from just one restaurant? You will have food from one restaurant today, food from another restaurant tomorrow, and you will try all the restaurants, right? You won't just wait for your that one restaurant to deliver you the food. You will go and you will eat the food from all the other places. Same thing applies here. When that lady is getting admiration, lots of flirty messages, flirty texts from like the entire city, why would she settle only for you? So it's like a no-brainer that she's like basking on the attention which she's receiving from everybody else. So this is one another big reason why men are not terribly upset and why they are saying no to the woman of their dream. My conclusion is men haven't changed what they used to admire. They still have that same protocols, they still admire the same thing. But women have changed their behavior. Their behavior has become completely, it has gone from bad to worst. And now is the era it is going to get only more worse. It cannot get better than this. They have complete, it is a part of evolution. We cannot do anything. No amount of therapy can change it. Even if I make 10 different videos hoping to change the entire gamut, it's not going to happen. So I did not make the rules. I'm just out here deciphering and bringing out the truth in front of you. I cannot change the rules. These rules are a part of evolution process and I cannot do anything. But this much I can do is I can make you aware of the surroundings by bringing out and keeping the truth in front of you. So you asked me one question and I've tried to answer it to the best of my capabilities. You can keep the questions coming. I ensure I will make a video or I will answer you in the form of a comment, but I will definitely get your query answered. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.